Like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who can bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GGB Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have your self to blame, y'all. Picket TV and they weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop until you get your mouth off LGBT. We are the underground outfit, y'all. We built this whole thing by ourselves, no in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yup, we got that merch for the ladies and yes, we even got that merch for the babies and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
All right, man. So, top of the day. Salute to everybody, whether you're in the day or the night. Appreciate all y'all for chopping on in. It is your boy Ticket. Man, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, make sure that y'all subscribe. Share this video. Like the video. After you hit the subscribe button, you're going to see a bell. After you see that bell, you're going to click all. After you hit all, you're going to get all the updates. If y'all can hear me, press 1 in the comment section. Let me get a mic check real quick. Let me know y'all can hear me. And we're going to get right on with this as this man, Luigi, you understand, who, man, straight up took another man's life in cold blood in the public, is getting praised by a lot of people. This dude's getting celebrated a lot by a lot of people. Now, there are articles out here now that are stating that this dude was never a member of, this healthcare company. Also, you have, reports coming out this morning that they want this dude charged as a terrorist, right? And so you have the DA Alvin Bragg is sending a message to society that they will not tolerate political violence, right? And this is out of MSNBC article. They dropped an article this morning where, this guy, they want him charged as that way. You know what I'm saying? And so now we have a preliminary court hearing this morning where this guy is going to appear in court. Now, again, we all, saw the clips and stuff like that, the photo shots, screen stills and everything about the situation. Of course, he has denied this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And, said it wasn't him. I guess he has now been charged with first and second degree murder, if I'm not mistaken, And so now what we're going to have to do is, you guys, is we're going to have to do this the old fashioned way. You can get into your new style of old fashioned, you know what I mean? And so they're going to get the old fashioned way now. And this is what this is on. You know what I'm saying? This is what this is on. Hold on one second, you guys. Hold on one second, you guys. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Right? So, appreciate all you guys. And salute to everybody that's coming in the building. And so we're waiting to see how this thing goes down right now. Hold on one second, y'all. Salute. Trying to see something, man. Hold on one second, you guys. I'm trying to see something. Hold on. Okay. So yeah, man, this is gonna be one of those situations, man. Y'all smash the like button, man. Appreciate all you guys that are tapped in to this video. I know a lot of you guys, and a lot of people who are subscribed don't have interest in these type of things. I do. You know what I'm saying? And so we're definitely gonna cover this today. This is a big one today, man. And so we're waiting for this to go down right now. Like right now. Right now. We're waiting on this to go down. And so hopefully all of you guys are locked in, as this ought to be, you know, entertaining right here. And so again, I've never seen a situation like this. This is a unique situation because you have a dude that took another man's life, and you have people celebrating that and hoping that this guy gets off. I never seen that before in my lifetime. I gotta think, have I ever seen somebody get dead like that and then people actually celebrate? You know, like this dude actually got supporters. Like this story run deep for a lot of people. So, and I've never seen nothing like that before. I'm trying to think if I ever see something like this where somebody, you know, allegedly took somebody's life in cold blood. You know what I mean? And, you know, you have people who are still supporting him and cheering him and wanting him to be free. I've never seen that before. I'm trying to think in all my days. Because, see, I'm going to tell y'all something. This is the truth. Do y'all think they would have did that if that was a brother? Y'all think they would have supported that brother if that was a brother who did that? I'm just keeping it real. Let's just keep it even all the way across the board. You know? I don't think I see that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just the honest to God truth, from my opinion, regardless of what you think about the situation or not, whether you feel like, you know, hey, man, this is one of them situations where, you know, because I'm seeing a lot of people trying to say, oh, well, it was a lesson that needed to be. Like, huh? You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people came and a lot of people were spewing allegations towards the healthcare company. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, like I said, this is one of those situations where, you know, I've never seen something like this type of situation before. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I literally, you can go to social media right now. You can go on social media right now, literally, y'all. And on social media right now, you guys, you are not going to see, right? On social media right now, you are not going to see anybody that is just 100% one way on this. This is split. I'm talking about this is split. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? Most people feel like he did this, and it's still split. It's not like you have people saying, hey, man, I think he's innocent. It's that, no. Most people think he did it, and it's still split. You know what I'm saying? It's still split. You know, they said his mom basically allegedly had warned the authorities that she felt like, you know, he could be, you know, on this type of path, you know. So they're saying that the warning signs were allegedly there, all these things, you know. Again, I read an article this morning. They said, the MSNBC, I saw that online. They said they think he should be charged with terrorism charge. Because they're calling this, you have some people saying that this is a political, you know, assassination right here. And so, I mean, it's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on with this situation, right? A lot going on with this situation. Somebody said he went off the deep end. Well, it definitely got ugly. I'm not gonna lie about that, man. That situation, I mean, bro, and like right there in the broad daylight, you know, broad daylight, you know. And so, I mean, if you look at the features on the face and stuff like that, I mean, you know, it's hard to argue against that. If you're looking at those features and things like that, it's hard to argue against that, bro. It really is. You know, based off what I saw. based off what I saw. It's hard to argue against that, you know. But again, these are the things that go on. These are the things that go on. And I tell y'all this, you know. Salute to everybody that's in the building too. I appreciate all y'all tapping on in for this show, man. I want to really see what happens in court with how this goes down today. You know what I'm saying, in the court. You know, the people definitely want answers on this, man. This one of the ones right here, y'all. If you wanted to know whether or not this is one of them ones, this is definitely one of them ones. Because, you know, everybody has questions about this. Everybody that I'm watching has questions about this one. And so, again, will he be eventually found guilty of this crime? Or will he, will he be found innocent? These are different things we got to look at as well. Will he be found innocent? Will he be found guilty? These are all important things that's going to come up now in this case. You know, they say they have evidence that can prove him guilty in this crime. That is what they're saying. They're saying that it is evidence that proves that he's guilty. That is what the prosecution is saying. You know, his lawyer, they're saying he's innocent. You know, everybody, you know, the only thing I don't like about this stuff is this brings up a political battle. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? This makes this a political battle. I don't like that. I don't like, you know, to get in political battles and stuff like that. I'm not a fan of none of that shit, man. You know, I'm not a fan of none of that stuff. Political battles and stuff like that, bro, because it gets too personal. I told you guys, it gets to this level, man. You can't have conversations no more without people insulting each other, people talking down on each other like a dog, all kind of stuff going on. I'm just trying to tell you guys, man, all this foolishness is going on. You know? And so y'all are seeing this, like right now, in the public. Y'all are seeing this. You know? And so they're also talking about extradition as well in this situation. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that's talking about this worldwide. Not only in the United States. People are talking about this situation worldwide. Worldwide, you guys. People are talking about this. And we're sitting up here watching this in real time. In real time, we're watching this, man. You know? So everybody is kind of trying to figure out how this thing is going to play out. Me personally, I'll be honest with y'all, I think they're going to find him guilty. I think they're going to find him guilty in this case. You know, now there were reports that some people think he could be set free. I was watching that on the they were naming some of the reasons why they thought he could be set free in this case. Like I said before, me personally, I don't see them setting him free in this case. Not with the type of evidence they say they have. So, most deaf. You dig? Most deaf. Most deaf. Everybody pretty much knows it. Man. Right? You got this big head mother. They'll be hate. All right. Hold on 1 second, y'all. So yeah. Y'all smash the like button as y'all come on in here too, man. Let's get those likes up, man. Salute to everybody that's in here, man. We're waiting to get the word. Right. Hold on, you guys. Let me see what they're talking about. Hold on. I want to see what they're talking about. Cause again, as I said to you guys, man, um, this whole entire court case thing is going to get this whole conversation is gonna be bro, it's gone way too far in my opinion anyway, as far as different things that people are saying, right? Now I told you guys last night, and I want you guys to think about this. They talked about this on MSNBC last night, how they said that, I'm saying they want this thing to look like it's they want that you have people pushing that this be charged or looked at as an act of terror. I told you guys this, right? And I don't know if they have the death penalty in that state. I have to look it up. I don't know. I really don't know. I have to look that up.
Luigi Mangione will be in court tomorrow in Pennsylvania, where a source tells NBC News he plans on waiving his extradition to New York. If that happens, he'll be moved immediately to Manhattan, where he faces a slew of charges for the killing of Brian Thompson, including first-degree murder, which in New York involves an accusation of terrorism. Joining us now, NBC News national and intelligence correspondent Tom Winter, former assistant district attorney with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, and MSNBC legal analyst Catherine Christian, and former New York State Homeland Security Advisor and director of Redland Strategies, Michael Balboni. He is the one who sponsored the New York State law on terrorism when he was a state senator. All right, Tom, I want to get the latest from you regarding the hearing and the investigation.
Yeah, a couple of different things here, Katie. So first off, as far as the charges, you've laid them out. You get that first-degree murder charge that also involves the terrorism, and I know we're going to talk about that. You've got the 2 second-degree murder charges. You've got a slew of gun charges, and then you've got the use of what we've been showing, and what we've been showing now for a week is that fake New Jersey ID, which apparently he presented to the hospital. So that's the information that we have as far as what's in here in the charges. Of course, it's almost nobody has the ability to carry a gun in Manhattan, so he's always going to face gun charges, plus the ghost gun charges. So that's been added to this as well, just so people understand how we got to this point. Now, I'm going to fold in some reports.
Now, let me stop that right there. Right? So they're saying that here's what they're saying this dude is up against right now in court. 1 count of murder in the first degree, right? This is in New York, right? 2 counts of murder in the second degree. 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree. 4 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the third degree. 1 count of criminal possession of a weapon in the fourth degree. And 1 count of criminal possession of a forged instrument in the second degree, 11 counts. So this guy right here is up against the ringer right now, as far as the charges stacking up. You understand what I'm saying? And so this situation right here is just going to get real weird. It's going to get real spooky, in my opinion, bro. And like I said before, I've never seen so many people on the side of a guy who went in out open, committed a murder, and most people think he did it, and you still have people split on, you have people that celebrating this stuff. Like I said before, man, I've never seen that before, ever. Normally it's, I don't believe he did it, I don't think he did it, or it's this, that, or third, and then the people are split. I've never seen it where most people think he did it, and then they're still split on how they feel about him.
To carry a gun in Manhattan, so he's always going to face gun charges, plus the ghost gun charges. So that's been added to this as well, just so people understand how we got to this point. Now, I'm going to fold in some reporting from my colleague Adam Reese. He's reporting that, yes, to your point, he's expected to waive that extradition. They'll definitely waive the preliminary hearing in Pennsylvania. Those 2 court proceedings scheduled to begin 8:30 and 9 a.m. So it's conceivable, because there really is.
Oh, to the person right there, know your 504 said they cheer for OJ. Yeah, that's because half the people thought he was innocent. You had people that thought OJ was innocent, and people thought he was guilty. What I'm saying is that damn near everybody thinks that this dude is guilty, and it's still split in how people feel about him. Like, he got people that support him and have no problem with what he did. That's what I'm saying. With other cases, you know, they were split, but half the people thought, okay, he's innocent. Half the people thought he's guilty. That's the difference right there. That's the difference right there. You got to. That's a stark and distinct difference, sir.
A lot that has to be done in the Pennsylvania end. He could be in a car, presumably with NYPD detectives and members of the DA's office, on his way to New York City by mid-morning tomorrow. Wow. And then at that point, they're going to want to get him here, get him in a courtroom, arraign him, and that'll happen at the downtown state court, which is in Lower Manhattan.
Let's talk about the terrorism charge, because this really piqued my interest yesterday, and I'm just curious to go in a little farther on it. Michael, you co-sponsored it, or you did sponsor this this legislation that added this on. Why does first-degree murder here in New York have a terrorism element?
Well, it was, at the time, it was really only limited to whether or not there was kind of a other crimes that didn't include terrorism itself. Terrorism now comes in after 9/11. I had sponsored the bill. Actually, ironically enough, Governor Pataki put a bill in the spring of 2001. Talk about being prescient. Amazing. So we passed in the Senate, didn't pass in the Assembly. Attacks happen. The legislature comes back in one session, joint session, and we pass it. The intent there, why I sponsored this, obviously is response to the attack, but it was also to try to recognize that this type of violence, that it was motivated by a need to change a government perspective, change a policy, that this could never be tolerated in the state of New York, and we should have the top penalty, which is, at this point, is life without parole. But back then we had death penalty.
But this was in the
Okay, so that answered my question. So back then he said that this used to have the death penalty. I thought that's what it was. But now it's life without parole, life without the possibility of parole. And he's saying that, look, you got to stop this, because now what's going to happen is, if you don't hit this dude with the hammer, that's going to encourage more people to do this type of stuff in order to feel like they want to have a policy pushed or something, you know, a certain, you know, way of thinking pushed as far as, you know, their belief system is. Because again, like I told you guys, man, bro, a lot of people supporting this cat. I can't, bro. I'm saying, like, they think he did it and have no problem with it, celebrating him, saying free this guy. It's not like they think he's innocent, didn't do it, and they're saying he's getting done wrong. That's not what's going on here. That's not what's going on here.
The aftermath of 9/11, which was a giant terrorist attack. Thousands of people died. It was genuinely terrifying. We're still terrified of it in this country. I struggle to see how this single murder of a single person in the hours before the sun came up, when there was another person standing right by them, that person was able to walk away, how this single individual murder can be considered terrorism. And why second-degree murder, which also carries a maximum of life in prison, why that would not be enough?
At the time, again, we had the death penalty that was later struck down. Mm-hmm. So that was the intent, that you applied the death penalty to an act of terrorism. It's not so much what's in the law, it's more about what's not in the law. We didn't put a requirement that there be mass fatalities or mass casualties. So we specifically said that if your motivation is to change the policy, practice of government, and you're going to use a violent method, you know, and remember, it's not just murder, it's murder.
Now, they're going to have to prove that that's why he did that. They're going to have to prove that. They're going to have a hard time proving that. I'm trying to tell y'all this. Because you're going to have to prove that what he did, in order for that, then let's charge that, they're going to have to prove what he did was motivated by that. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, you may think that that's what it was, but they're going to have to prove that. They're going to have to prove that, you know? So that's going to be one of those situations where you're looking at that thing, and it's just like, you know, so it's gonna be one of those situations, man. I'm just trying to tell y'all this, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, you know. I'm just trying to tell y'all what's up, man. So you guys, like I said before, man, Appreciate everybody coming in the building. Y'all see what it is, man. You said they're celebrating him, treating him like he's Robin Hood. Yeah, I see that too. I definitely see that.
Rape, arson, there's a whole bunch of other things that you can use. And it is meant to coerce a unit of government or a unit of, we say at the time, a unit of policy. That should be what is prohibited under the law.
Catherine?
Well, what you just said is what his lawyers, like no, Karen Friedman, Ignifilo, and Mark Ignifilo are going to say. The New York State Court of Appeals, 12 years ago, basically told the Bronx District Attorney's Office that a gang that terrorizes the way we think of terrorism, a neighborhood, that you can't charge this. So a little girl was murdered, a young man was paralyzed. New York State Court of Appeals says no. This was intended for, and they cited the state legislature, 9/11, the Oklahoma City bombing, it's for the 1993 bombing, it's for the yeshiva students who were shot at, and one was murdered on the Brooklyn Bridge. And appellate courts since have also said, no, it's really not intended for anything other than those very significant. Now, I'll be interested to see what evidence, because he will be arraigned and we will know more.
Yeah,
evidence.
we're going to know more. I guess the reason why I'm so piqued by this is that I wonder if it's a slippery slope when you're attaching a terrorism charge to individual acts. And yes, we're going to get more information and maybe some more details on what he was writing and what he intended to incite here. But I wonder, there's a little bit of discomfort I have with the idea of charging this one person with an act of terrorism. It feels like you can use that in a very broad way in other potential scenarios.
Well, first off, I think just in keeping an eye on the law here, we are talking about a homicide or a very serious offense to Mike's point.
No doubt. No doubt about
but taking a step back, whether this law, and we've been having the debate will continue to be asked, whether this law is applicable here, whether it will survive in the appellate system, we were just speaking about it off air, all to be determined. And my opinion on the matter is irrelevant. I will tell you, in law enforcement circles, I think there's a struggle here with the idea of what we saw this year politically in this country, 2 attempted assassination attempts on Trump, what we've seen in this particular killing, where people are starting to believe in society. You and I have spoken about this. The only way I can solve my problem is with violence, and the only way I can impact change in something, whether it be health insurance, political, whatever it is through these specific acts of violence. The potential for that to get out of control is very high. So maybe it's a law that needs to be, redrawn up. Is there an update that needs to happen? Does either the state or...
He sound like he want to go back to the death penalty. That's what he sound like, y'all. He sound like he want to go back to the death penalty. If you can get a terrorism charge, he want to go back to the death penalty, and that way have people scared shitless.
The federal government needs to look at this and say, do we need a new law or something to talk about? But whenever somebody tries to attack ideology, and this is where I wonder where the Morales case, which you were referring to, is maybe a bit different.
I think that's really interesting that people are believing they need to take things into their own hands because the system is no longer working. On the flip side of that, you have Daniel Penny, who took a matter into his own hands on a New York City subway. There was a homeless guy who was scaring people on the train. He had suffered with mental illness. The city didn't do anything for him. He was out there struggling on his own. And in the moment where it felt unsafe on that train, Daniel Penny decided to take matters into his own hands and put him in a chokehold that prosecutors here in New York argued went on for too long and ultimately killed the man. Is there an interesting, I guess not parallel, but maybe parallel here regarding what we're seeing with the shooting of Brian Thompson, the United Healthcare CEO, and what Daniel Penny did?
I don't see a parallel there. I think what is very sad that there are people who are basically calling this alleged shooter, Mr. Mangione, sort of a hero because he shot in the back, a healthcare CEO.
People call Daniel Penny a hero for trying to keep the subway safe.
But I think there are different facts than lying.
Well, no, I think they're different facts. But I think what I'm talking about is there is a belief that the system is not working. So Luigi Mangione took it into his own hands. Daniel Penny took it into his own hands.
Let me ask y'all this question: do you guys like the healthcare system that y'all have going on right now? Press 1. If you like your healthcare insurance, press 1. If you don't, press 2. I'm just asking y'all right now for those who have it. If you like your healthcare insurance, press 1. If not, press 2. Lex, cut it out. Man, this boy Lex always doing this. I always gotta tell this boy. Damn, nobody like their healthcare insurance. God, dog, man. Dog. And see, that's the reason why you got so many people that's cooking on this whole situation. This is the reason why. Because nobody, I see a couple people say 1. A couple people saying 1. Hold on, y'all, because I got to tell this dog, man. This dude do this every single morning, bro. He wake me up, and I go to sleep on this foolishness. Straight up. Hey, Lex. Now what I told you, man. Lex. What I said. Huh? That fool, he didn't know where I was coming from. He looking around trying to find out where I'm at. Oh, he don't know I'm up looking down. He looking all around. He hear my voice. That boy started going crazy looking around. But yeah, as I told y'all, right? Told y'all this. Man, dog. This man said I make between 70 and 80 grand a year. And I have no health insurance until I got married. Other than that, I guess I had to sneak out the country, sneak back in as an illegal alien. God, dog, man. bro, y'all something else, man. Y'all something else, man. You know? He said the corporations will not change, so the people are tired. Man, bro. You know? You said y'all something else, man. You know? It still should be thou shalt not kill, though, man. I mean, bro, you know? Because like I said, this is a brother who did this. All these people, I'm telling y'all this right now. They would not be behind this dude. I promise y'all this. On everything I love. On everything I love. On everything I love, they wouldn't be. They would not be. You know? Yeah, man. I'm just trying to tell you, bro. Y'all already know. Y'all already know what happened. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I said, I've never seen nothing like this before, ever. Not nothing like this. Never. Never seen nothing like it. Salute to all y'all in the building as well, man. I appreciate all y'all that's pulling up, man. You know what I'm saying? Standing on business. You did. Y'all know what it is. Everybody come through standing on business. But yeah, I also was telling you guys, they were saying that it seems like it's going to be hard to prove, you know what I'm saying, you know, his motivation. You know, he got people that are supporting him outside the courthouse. This dude has people that's dressed up like Super Mario outside the courthouse supporting him. This is crazy. This dude, these people really think this dude committed this crime. And you literally have people lined up outside the courthouse, dressed up like Super Mario, Luigi, supporting this guy. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. That is crazy, bro. He literally got people that's lined up out here. Unbelievable, man. And salute to everybody in the chat. Appreciate all y'all hopping on in. Y'all smash the like button if y'all come on in if y'all haven't. And subscribe if y'all haven't. Bro. Unbelievable, man. I'm watching this lady and this man right now that's dressed up as Super Mario, Luigi. And they're out here supporting this dude. And they probably think he did it too and don't care at all. And you got comment sections full of people that's supporting this guy. That's saying free him, and they think he did it, and they still want him free. That's how upset people are. You know? You know? And you got people saying that people condoning this type of crime shows y'all where this world is at today. You know? It's people on both sides of the spectrum of this. It's people that's saying, you know, hey man, I'm gonna tell y'all something, you know. You know, they're committing crimes by people not getting health care insurance and this, that, and the third. So how are we, you know, bad for, you know, basically standing with a guy who stood up against it? That's what people are trying to say. But man, I just don't believe you should take somebody's life like that, man. Thou shalt not kill, brother. Thou shalt not kill, man. And the crazy part is like I said, people are praising this guy. They're praising this guy. Unbelievable. 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 Yo, this dude posts a whole lot of different stuff on his Twitter, man. Bro, this is crazy. I'm looking at his Twitter timeline, y'all. He just posted a whole lot of different things. Man. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think he would get a pardon? Answer that question in the comment section. Do you guys think this guy would get a pardon? Do you guys think this guy would get a pardon? That's what I want everybody to answer in the comments. He says no, no, no. Man, he just arrived to the courthouse right now. He just now arrived to the courthouse. So he's in the courthouse now. Just arrived to the courthouse. Man, they got all these cameras outside, bro. They got all these cameras outside. He arrived under heavy security. It's funny how they give these guys heavy security. Y'all something else, man. Boy. Yeah, he's in the courthouse. He seemed like he chilling too. Well, right in the courthouse.
He is accused of doing is starting some sort of movement. You just look in the streets of New York City. There's an alarming sign that is exactly what he has started. So, you know, of course, Luigi was arrested. He is the man who is accused and charged with the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, which happened a week ago in New York City. On those very same streets, not far really from where the murder happened, there are posters going up. Really, they're all over the city. And they're wanted posters, not for Luigi, but for, as you see there, Brian Thompson and other CEOs. That particular video there shows CEOs of healthcare companies. Right. But there are others going up around the city. This one, Andrew Whitty, is a man whose name is already out there. He is a CEO of another division of United Healthcare. Right. And there was a video that he recorded internally for employees, and that leaked the other day. And he has since been getting threats against his life. And now you see these posters going up with other people. It is
right. You see Brian
Thompson, him crossed out as in mission accomplished, and these are the next CEOs that we need to kill. It's shocking.
It's crazy.
That's exactly right, guys. I think these posters clearly show the deep divide right now as far as reaction goes to this. And the fact of the matter is, Luigi has admirers. Luigi has supporters. They're bitter about the health insurance agencies, and they don't feel apparently all that bad that somebody lost their lives, and they feel that perhaps it sent a message.
Yeah, not even bad. They've celebrated.
Yeah, the other alarming part of this, and we are trying to get video of this, but we've been told by people in New York City that those wanted posters are not just going, they're not going after targeting insurance people. Now in the financial district, according to law enforcement sources, they have seen posters going up for CEOs of financial firms.
This is potentially so bad for our society. If there's something wrong with the healthcare system, I think we can all agree that it's probably broken and it needs reform. That does not mean you murder someone in cold blood. Where do you then draw the line, Charles? You know what I mean? If you disagree with something, you just go out there and kill them, and it's no problem.
And Babcock, you're exactly right, because the executives, these companies, we know for a fact that they are calling private security. They are beefing up their security. They are afraid. The message that some of these supporters are sending, it's being heard loud and clear. And you're right, it's scary.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy, man. Yeah, no, I know, but you still don't kill nobody, man. I'm sorry, bro. You don't do that, man. And again, I'm gonna say this again, and I mean this. If this was a brother, I'm telling y'all what would happen. If this was a brother, I'm gonna say to y'all again. What do y'all think they would be saying, bro? They be calling this dude a terrorist, bro. Straight up, there would be no celebration of this guy at all. None. If this was a brother, I'm just trying to tell y'all this, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just keeping it real for you guys. Shout out to Nick T with the donation. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate it, man. He said people in prison have better health care than law-abiding citizens. Let me say this, and that's why I wanted to ask this question. Shout out to my boy Nick T. Do y'all think that they should have universal health care for everybody? Do you guys think that they should have universal health care for every citizen? That's a question I have for y'all. Do y'all think that they should have universal health care for every citizen? Do y'all think that? Some people say yes. Yeah, because in some countries they have that. They have health care for every citizen. It is a sad situation, and time that we live in. That is sad. It really is. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said no. I personally believe anybody that's sick should be able to go to the hospital and get treatment. Period. I believe that's called humanity. That's just my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? That's like if somebody came to your home and they was like jacked up, would you help them? Or would you just watch them, would you help try to stop the bleeding or help try to stop whatever the problem is? Or would you just watch them just fade out? Like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just be honest with you, man. I feel like, sometimes you gotta, not sometimes, I feel like you always gotta be humanitarian, man. And open yourself up to helping other people. That's just what I feel like, Because I don't feel like nobody should be able to go to a hospital or a doctor that has a serious problem and not get help. I just don't feel that. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have money or this, that, or third. You're talking about human beings, And then that's when people start talking about the greed and all the other stuff that comes along. That's when you have those arguments and stuff that comes along with that. But again, murder is never the answer. It's never the answer, bro. Thou shalt not kill, man. Period. Thou shalt not kill, man. Right? And that's just the facts of the situation.
Put out there on maybe one of the largest platforms in media right now. Joe Rogan was talking about the fallout of Brian Thompson's murder. And this was his theory as to what motivated Luigi Mangione. And it does fall in line with what a lot of what we're seeing online. This is what Joe Rogan had said.
I don't think this guy was a professional. I think this guy, if I had to guess, some guy over. Apparently that company is really bad on denying claims. 34% denial rate. Normal's like 16. Yeah. So those guys.
I don't think anybody's going to be crying too hard over that guy.
Yeah, maybe his family, but that's about it.
Yeah.
It's a dirty, dirty business. The business of insurance is gross. It's gross. And especially healthcare insurance, just gross.
That is almost not even part of the debate anymore. What Joe said at the end there, the debate is about how you handled it, how you address that, right? And what Luigi Mangione allegedly did, a lot of people, I think, rightfully feel is not the path we want to go down. But as we're seeing these wanted posters going up, it raises concern.
Yeah, and when you have more and more people like Joe, Charles, giving I don't know.
Well, he's just sharing his opinion.
Right.
So I don't want to.
No, and I like Joe. I'm a big fan of Joe.
And all he did was say what people have said about the healthcare industry.
Right.
I want to get to Luigi Mangione real quick because there's a lot we've learned about him now. He, as we showed you yesterday, went into court for a bail hearing. Not shockingly, they denied him bail. Yeah. And also he says he's going to fight extradition. Also, his lawyer says he's going to plead not guilty. What's interesting about that is that the manifesto, there are now details about this manifesto that he had on him when he was arrested. And in the manifesto, he says a lot of things, including telling the feds, I want to make this easy on you. I worked alone. Right. He doesn't say I did it, but he says I worked alone.
Right. No co-conspirators.
Some other details from the manifesto here. He says, and it's clear what his anger is about. He says, I do apologize for any strife or traumas, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. United is the indecipherable, the largest company in the U.S. by market cap, behind only Apple, Google, and Walmart. It has grown and grown, but has our life expectancy. No, the reality is these companies, I think, have simply gotten too powerful, and they continue to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. So those words, which he even pointed the authorities to a notebook that had more details. Yeah. So he has those words, but his attorney is saying he's going to plead not guilty.
By the way, the answer to his question is yes, life expectancy has risen. Doesn't mean there's not a problem again with the healthcare industry. It doesn't mean that Luigi Mangione takes it into his own hands and goes and brutally murders somebody in cold blood on the streets of New York City. I think it's so gross.
I mean, look, this amounts to basically a confession in the manifesto. It doesn't look like he's running away from this crime. It looks like he wants a platform, as a matter of fact. When I saw him walking out of that car, the fact that he's fighting extradition, the fact that he plans to plead not guilty, says that this kid wants a spectacle. He wants to have a platform to espouse his views about this particular issue, and he's gotten it. I mean, this is the biggest story in America. You're right that it is the wrong sort of ends justifying the means.
No, I disagree with that. This is definitely not the biggest story in America. The biggest story in America is what's going on over there with Diddy and Jay-Z. That's the biggest story in America, not this. But this is second. And this is, this is second. Damn sure second. And so that's the situation, that's going on. Appreciate all you guys tapping on in, Nah, sorry. The viewership lets me know all across the board, the viewership, man, they more important. They more invested in that whole Diddy situation than this. That Diddy situation is bigger than this. I'm telling you, because if you go look at all the platforms, all the networks, that Diddy situation is doing more numbers than this CEO thing. I'm telling y'all this. I know that for a fact. Because I'm looking at all the platforms. I'm looking at all the numbers all these platforms are doing, bro. I'm talking about big major media platforms. They're getting more numbers doing the Diddy situation. They're getting more attention and more traction doing that than they are doing this. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Right? What you say? I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, but you can't resolve your problems by, violence should not begotten violence. You should not, if you think that they're doing something wrong like that, you shouldn't go, take somebody's life like that. That's just not right. There's other ways to voice your frustration. You know what I'm saying? That's just not right. That's just not right. Period. Thou shalt not kill. With some of you guys, like I said before, man, I'm telling y'all what it is, man. Telling y'all what it is. And that's how I stand on it. That's how I stand on that. Yeah, so what do I think happens in court right now? They probably send it to New York. In my opinion. They send it to New York. Straight up. That's just how I feel. I feel like they send his ass to New York. Period. And it is what it is. It is what it is. What? Hold on. Let me see something, y'all. Hold on. Let me see. Ain't no way in here. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I'm just waiting on the response to see what happened with this boy. As they've actually closed this is strange too, that they're not letting cameras in court. No, they should let these cameras inside the courthouse, man. I don't like this because this is not a federal crime. Now the report that the New York prosecutors may have trouble proving first-degree murder. You know what I'm saying? That's being reported too. Is that the New York prosecutors may have trouble proving first-degree murder charge against Luigi, is what experts are saying now. So they're saying that they may have a problem proving first-degree murder against this guy. That's what they're saying.
We allege that the defendant arrived in New York City to murder Brian Thompson. After the defendant arrived in New York City on a bus at Port Authority, he checked into the hostel on the Upper West Side using the name Mark Rosario with a fake New Jersey ID. On the morning of December 4th, the defendant left the hostel, just after 5:30 a.m. and traveled to Midtown. For nearly an hour, we allege the defendant waited in the area near the Hilton Hotel, waiting for Mr. Thompson to appear. From 6:38 a.m. to 6:44 a.m., the defendant stood across from the entrance of the hotel on West 54th Street. When he saw Mr. Thompson, he crossed the street and approached him from behind. We allege he then took out a 9mm 3D printed ghost gun, equipped with a 3D printed suppressor, and shot him once in the back and once in the leg. The defendant then fled northeast on 54th Street and took an e-bike uptown before getting into a taxi that took him to West 178th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. On December 9th, the defendant was spotted at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. The local police were notified. He was arrested, and he was found with a 9mm handgun, a suppressor, 2 ammunition magazines, and the same fake New Jersey ID he used at the hostel.
We have seen a shocking
and appalling celebration of cold-blooded murder. Social media has erupted with praise for this cowardly attack. People ghoulishly plastered posters threatening the other CEOs, with an X over Mr. Thompson's picture, as though he was some sort of a sick trophy. And yesterday, the New York Post reported that some extreme activists were circulating a deck of cards with other most wanted CEOs to be targeted for assassination. These are the threats of a lawless, violent mob who would trade in their own vigilantism for the rule of law that protects us all. Let me say this plainly. There is no heroism in what Mangione did. This was a senseless act of violence. It was a cold and calculated crime that stole a life and put New Yorkers at risk. We don't celebrate murders, and we don't lionize the killing of anyone. And any attempt to rationalize this is vile, reckless, and offensive to our deeply held principles of justice.
And that's the thing. People don't care. Now you at a point where people don't care. You know what I'm saying? People don't care. That's the point we at right now. People do not care. And y'all are seeing this worldwide in front of y'all face. And that is a big thing that's going on. Is we're seeing this in front of the whole world. Is that, you know, these people just don't care no more at all. So, boom. Boom. You said, what you say? Man, I don't know what they do. No. Right. You said you had to beg these insurance companies for approval for patients, but still, that's not, you don't, it's thou shalt not kill. Simple as that, man. You know, and nobody, in my opinion, should be celebrating any type of murder. That's just how I feel about it. Be honest with y'all. You know, I don't think that it's right at all. I don't think it's right, man. You know, there are other ways that these situations can be resolved. You know, and they're trying to like put reports out that this kid was rich. He come from a rich family, and he wasn't even a member of this insurance company. And so they're trying to say that he's a fraud because he doesn't have no issues. So why is you trying to act like you have personally had problems when you're rich? That's what people are trying to say about this guy. I saw people talking about that online, mentioning that. I saw a lot of people mentioning that, you know, he come from a family that's well off. They got a lot of money, that's rich. I've seen a lot of people mentioning that. You know what I'm saying, you guys? I saw a lot of people mentioning that. A lot of people mentioning that. You said just because his family has money doesn't mean he does. Well, that's not what it was being said. As a matter of fact, if you go look at his social media, he looks like he was well off. If you go look at his social media. I'm talking to Kendra. I mean, that could be a true statement what you said, but from what I saw from his social media, it didn't look like he was struggling for something. You know? So I had to disagree with you on that, man. Right? You said you want to see the video. Mm-hmm. Well, they definitely going in on him, right? They're saying he's going to waive extradition. That's what they're saying.
Source close to suspect Luigi Mangione now saying he's expected to waive extradition and within hours could be back in New York. Here's Aaron Katursky.
Tonight, a source close to accused killer Luigi Mangione says he's expected to waive extradition, clearing the way for his move to New York City as early as tomorrow to face charges for the targeted murder of United Healthcare chief Brian Thompson.
I'm ready to bring him back here and to make sure that justice is served to someone who had the audacity to gun down any New Yorker. I don't care what their title is.
Mangione has been in a Pennsylvania prison since his arrest last week. He's due to appear before a judge in the morning and within hours could be brought to New York, booked and arraigned on a charge of murder in furtherance of terrorism.
This was a killing that was intended to evoke terror.
It also unleashed anger at insurance companies and displays of admiration for the alleged killer, something the NYPD called vile.
Social media has erupted with praise for this cowardly attack. People ghoulishly plastered posters threatening the CEOs, other CEOs, with an X over Mr. Thompson's picture.
Outside a gathering of CEOs last night, just steps from the crime scene, protesters called for more violence, invoking the same words found written on the gunman's shell casings. Once Mangione returns to a court here, David, he is going to have to enter a plea to the 11-count indictment. And then in all likelihood, a judge would order him held without bail in New York City's jail complex on Rikers Island. David?
This could all be fast-moving tomorrow. Aaron, thank you. We should note Aaron is part of the reporting team that tomorrow night we'll have a 2020 special right here, Manhunt, Luigi Mangione, and the CEO murder. It's a special edition of 2020, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to take you inside the case, new details, new reporting, tomorrow night right here on ABC. News tonight involving the suspect in the CEO murder case.
Man, this is unbelievable, man. So, again, this guy's all over the news. They're going in. You know what I'm saying? Man, bro. I feel like he made, and it's the thing, like, hopefully there are no copycats out there. Right? And y'all know what it is. So, yeah, man. This situation is outrageous, bro. And we're still waiting to get the word on what's going on with this cat. We're still waiting. Man, this court stuff taking a long time just for a preliminary hearing. Man, this thing taking a long ass time. Just for a preliminary hearing, y'all. Let me repeat that part again. We're only talking about a preliminary hearing. That's it. And it's taking this long. Insane. Insane. Let me see what they're talking about. All right, hold on. Yeah, y'all. Still waiting, man. Bro, all you gotta do is let us know whether or not he's gonna waive his right and go to New York. Waive extradition and go to New York. That's all we want to know. Is he going to New York or not? Because he go to New York, you already know what they're gonna do. They trying his ass immediately. As soon as he get in New York, they trying him. That case getting tried immediately in New York. As soon as he go over there. Everybody know this. The thing is that now all the other CEOs and these people are going to be under heavy watch now because they're all going to be thinking about their security. So now a lot of these people, they're going to be moving more cautiously, moving with security guards, moving with security. Watch. You're going to have a whole different situation now as far as this thing is concerned. I'm telling y'all this. These people are going to start moving different based off this situation and based off what happened. You'd be a damn fool not to move differently after seeing this. After seeing this, yeah, you'd be a damn fool. You see this, you're not moving differently? Nah. Sorry. Yeah, they get way more views on the Diddy case. I told you guys, the Diddy case is bigger than this. The Diddy case is way bigger than this. You know what I'm saying? But this is just as important because you're talking about so many people's lives and livelihood. So this is just as important. You know? You said what? Man, y'all something else, man. In that comment section, bro. Y'all something else, man. Yo, salute everybody. Yo, salute to all y'all that's in the building too. Appreciate all y'all tapping on in. Man, I was kind of hoping they was gonna have the cameras in the courthouse, man. They don't. That's a bad part about this. They don't have the cameras in the courthouse, but they got protesters outside the courthouse supporting this guy. They damn sure got these protesters outside supporting this guy. And they putting their face on this. Unashamedly. Without shame, they putting their face on this. Right? So they say they got all kind of evidence stacked up on this guy. That's what they're alleging. Is there's all kind of evidence they got stacked up on this guy. So we definitely gonna have to see. Let me see something here. I seen them talking about he could be set free for a certain reason. Let me see this. Let me see this right here.
The crime was recorded on video, and so far, the NYPD says it's collected a mountain of evidence implicating Mangione in the crime, including his own words in which he takes responsibility for the shooting. Independent journalist Ken Klippenstein posted the entire statement on his Substack. To the feds, I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial, some elementary social engineering, basic CAD, which is computer-aided design, a lot of patience. The spiral notebook, if present, has some straggling notes and to-do lists that illuminate the gist of it. It continues later. I do apologize for any strife of traumas, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. As a reminder, the U.S. has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly number 42 in life expectancy. United is the largest company in the U.S. by market cap, behind only Apple, Google, Walmart.
Yeah, man. yo, y'all. Hey, I see y'all in the comments. Y'all something else, man. I definitely see y'all in the comments, man.
It has grown and grown, but has our life expectancy? No, the reality is these have simply gotten too powerful, and they continue to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex, but I do not have space, and frankly, I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument. But many have illuminated the corruption and...
Yo, y'all know what I just thought about? I want to say this to everybody. Y'all know what I just thought about? And look at this person. See, I told y'all, they don't care that he allegedly committed this crime. They don't care. But y'all know what I just thought about? I don't think that they're going to put the video cameras in court. And here's the reason why I don't think they're going to do it. Because they don't want him to turn into a situation where he uses this as a highway to get free press to spew his views on the world. That's why they're not going to put this on video, in my opinion. I don't think that they're going to put his actual trial. I don't think that they're going to allow cameras in the courtroom for that. I don't think they're going to do it. And I think the reason why they're not going to do it is because they're not going to want him to use this as a come up. Meaning, you're broadcasted in front of the world, and now other people see this and say, oh, well, if I do this, there's going to be cameras in the courtroom. I can make a big statement and go out in a blaze. That's what I'm starting to think now, the reason why they're not going to put cameras in this court.
Breed, e.g. Rosenthal, Moore, decades ago, and the problems simply remain. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty. The commissioner of the NYPD says testing on the 3D printed gun found on Mangione at the time of his arrest matched shell casings found at the crime scene. And remember those photos police released in an effort to ID the shooter? Police say they're clearly Mangione. Look at those distinctive eyes and the one in the back of the cab. Mangione is being held in a prison in Pennsylvania as he fights extradition to New York. However, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg said that could change.
Indications are that the defendant may waive, but that waiver is not complete until a court proceeding, which my understanding from court officials in Pennsylvania cannot happen until Tuesday. So until that time, we're going to continue to press forward on parallel paths, and we'll be ready whether he is going to waive extradition or whether he's going to contest extradition.
The DA's office is presenting evidence to a grand jury to indict Luigi Mangione for Brian Thompson's murder, so he'll be brought back to New York eventually, and that could happen later this week. And that is where he'll stand trial if he takes the case to trial. And that raises questions about the jury. Karen Friedman Agnifilo confirms she has been retained to represent Luigi Mangione in New York. Friedman Agnifilo worked in the Manhattan DA's office for years and was the chief deputy under then DA.
Now, she is related. She has a relation to Diddy's lawyer. That's crazy. And a lot of people heard about this the other day. His lawyer has a relation to Diddy's lawyer. I heard somebody say, man, damn, all Diddy's lawyers do is represent criminals. I died laughing when they said that. When they said that, yo, I died laughing, bro. I died laughing, man. I died laughing, man. I died laughing, man. Man, y'all are crazy, man. Y'all something else, man. Y'all something else.
Cyrus Vance. So she knows the office very well. She's also married to Sean Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, if that name sounds familiar.
See? Yeah, that's his wife. They related. That's just like his wife.
Agnifilo's office says she's not commenting on the case at this time. Now, Manhattan's a big place with a large jury pool, and already users on X and TikTok, they're trying to influence potential jurors, at least some of them. They're talking about what I mentioned earlier, jury nullification. Cornell's law school explains it like this. Jury nullification refers to a jury's knowing and deliberate rejection of the evidence or refusal to apply the law, either because the jury wants to send a message about some social issue that is larger than the case itself, or because the result dictated by law is contrary to the jury's sense of justice, morality, or fairness. Essentially, with jury nullification, the jury returns a not guilty verdict, even if jurors believe beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant broke the law. This can occur because a not guilty verdict cannot be overturned, and jurors are protected regardless of their verdicts. Users of X and TikTok are talking about jury nullification, as I mentioned, and one TikTok user has called upon prospective jurors, who aren't even close to being selected yet, to find Luigi Mangione not guilty, explaining jury nullification.
Jury nullification is legal. Do not let Luigi go down for this, because let's get real, it's awful odd. Even if he did it, none of us give a damn about the man.
See, that's crazy, man. And I told you guys, people don't have no compassion for life now. They don't care. They don't have no compassion for nobody. It's like it's all out war now. And it should never be like, there should never be a situation where, murder is condoned like that. Thou shalt not kill. I'm gonna say it again. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill. Period. But people now, the world we live in, now they don't care no more. We live in a whole different era where people don't care no more, man. They just don't care. And I guarantee you, I'm gonna say it again. If this was a brother, they would not have this same energy, bro. They would not, bro. They would not. I promise y'all this. And I'm just trying to tell y'all, man, this world has become less compassionate and less compassionate, bro.
Died. His wife, maybe a few of his friends, not the rest of us, because what they did, what they've been doing, is even worse. So remember, jury nullification is legal, because they're most likely going to put him on trial in New York City.
There's certainly a lot of anger at the health insurance industry for denial of claims. And what Luigi Mangione is accused of doing has struck a chord with some people who look at him as a folk hero. And they're sympathetic to Mangione because of his back surgery that he apparently had in 2023 to repair a painful spinal condition. There are some recent examples of jury nullification. Dr. Jack Kevorkian was acquitted in 3 trials in which he helped terminally ill patients end their lives. He was convicted of second-degree murder in a 5th trial after a 4th ended in a mistrial. And some consider O.J. Simpson's acquittal in 1995 for the murders of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman as an act of jury nullification.
No. See, that's the thing. People were split on that. I told y'all this before. People were split on that. They were split on that. I told you guys this. They were split on that. They were split on that. So that's the situation that's going on with that. This people ain't split on this as far as people thinking whether or not he did that. Most people think he did it, and they don't care. It's split down the middle. It literally is split down the middle. Yep.
So could it happen in Luigi Mangione's case. The cases I cover each day here on Crime Fix show you just how scary the world can be. And one of the scariest things that can happen is if you ever get hurt. But I want you to know, if you're ever seriously hurt or in an accident, your case, Crime Fix.
People that think that he should be freed, even though they believe that he killed Thompson, the United Healthcare CEO. And some of it may be their own issues with health insurance claims and prior authorizations and denials. A lot of people have frustrations with their health insurance company or the industry in general. And then the other reason is, let's be honest, he is someone who is smart, comes from a very rich family, is good looking, now he's famous. He has sort of everything in terms of what people are attracted to. So both in terms of a sympathetic, attractive defendant, and by the way, I'm not condoning violence at all, and a victim who is less sympathetic, and the whole industry that is maligned and disliked. I think this is a very real possibility in this case, and something that District Attorney Alvin Bragg in Manhattan has to be concerned about.
I think they are concerned about it. I mean, Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, has been on some news program.
Now, what y'all think about what he said? What y'all think about what he said? Right? What do y'all think about what he said? Answer that question, y'all.
Talking about how an indictment is coming any day, that the grand jury is hearing evidence. They've been putting out, Nima, so much information about this case. Yes, it's a high-profile case. I get that. But so much information, like, oh, we matched the gun to the crime scene. They put that out. Oh, we found this. We found that. They've been doing it. I mean, they're putting out a lot of information. Now, granted, this is a unique case because there was a nationwide manhunt. You don't often see somebody murdered on camera on the streets in New York City, a CEO of a health insurance company. But I think they are worried. And I think that they see the sympathy. I mean, I showed TikTok videos earlier in the show. There are people on TikTok saying, #FreeLuigi, jury nullification. They're directing it at prospective jurors saying, you have the right to do this. So I think that they are concerned. They see what is happening and they see that, oh my God, there is so much anger at corporations and the health insurance industry over this, that there are people who do not care that Brian Thompson was murdered.
Yep. Bro, this world has gone heartless. Absolutely cold-hearted. And they don't care. I watched it myself right here in this comment section. I saw it all online. I told you guys. I watched this whole thing online. You know? I watched the whole thing online. You did? And so, man, it's just it's one of those situations, man, where I told you guys, man. You said what?
There is an engine. I'm big on TikTok too, spend a lot of time there, and you're absolutely right. I mean, overwhelmingly, it seems like people there are supporting Luigi Mangione, which I would never think was possible. And, you know, I think part of the issue with what you're talking about is all the resources that have been spent on this case. And again, Brian Thompson is a human being. He absolutely did not deserve to die.
Absolutely
wife, or it was estranged from me. He has kids. We can't have this type of, you know, vigilante justice, even if you don't like the healthcare industry. But still, the resources that have been spent on this case, people on TikTok are saying, well, what if this was someone who wasn't a CEO and wasn't a millionaire? You know, how many murders happen in New York City every year that are unsolved because they don't bring in the FBI and the governor isn't talking about it? How many trafficked women and people of color? So it's almost the backlash the other way because, and I understand why you can't have this type of lawlessness and assassination, execution in broad daylight in Midtown Manhattan, just for safety reasons, for public relations reasons. But people are saying, well, what about my loved one who's missing? Or what about my crime that's gone unsolved? How come the government isn't spending those types of resources on those other cases?
And I think that that's a legitimate question. You know, I was doing some research and trying to go back in recent memory and looking at cases where jury nullification took place. And when you kind of Google it, you don't really find that many. However, there are people who think that the O.J. Simpson case is a prime example of jury nullification because the jury in that case, there were jurors interviewed afterwards who said, yeah, I think he did it, but this was for Rodney King. It was payback for Rodney King. So that, in some respects, people saw that as a sign of jury nullification, despite the fact that there were issues with the investigation and, the Mark Furman aspect of it, the Marsha Clark aspect of it, if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit, all that jazz. So people look at that as maybe an example of jury nullification, but you don't really see it happen all that often. Also, another example was Jack Kevorkian. He was acquitted, and that was on camera as well, assisted suicide. So can you think of any other cases where it would be an example of jury nullification actually happening?
I think those are two of the best examples because oftentimes, even when we have a shocking jury verdict, jurors don't come out and say, yeah, I think he did it, but I decided to completely disregard the law and the judge's instructions. Most of them don't do that. But I think OJ is probably the best example, and obviously one of the most famous cases in American history because you had not necessarily a defendant who was really sympathetic, but I think people in Los Angeles were really upset at the Rodney King verdicts. I mean, the first not guilty, and even in the federal case, there were still some not guilties. Only a couple of the officers were convicted. I mean, that was shocking because it was caught on video. And I think more than that, you have Furman, you have the LAPD, just the horrible racist evidence that came out. They really wanted to punish law enforcement in that case. So even though they weren't a party necessarily, or because they were investigating the case, and I think the jurors were so fed up with the corruption and the racism and LAPD, and Rampart happened around that time as well. I mean, jurors wanted to send a message that, listen, like, we're not going to side with someone that we don't like. We're not going to side with LAPD. Jack Kevorkian, of course, assisted suicide. A lot of people had a lot of sympathy for him. They thought that there's someone who's helping people during the most dire time in their life. So they wanted to send a message that we did not think that this case should even have been prosecuted. So obviously, assisted suicide, there's people on both sides that have very strong feelings about it, but it's not really too dissimilar from health insurance. There are a lot of people that have very strong feelings about it, and that may come out during jury selection and more importantly, deliberations.
Jury nullification probably, if you're a defense attorney and you're going for that, I assume it's all about picking the right jury. And it's going to come down to jury selection and really feeling out those jurors during voir dire.
Oh, no question. You want those stealth jurors, right? Jurors that are going to be on your side, but aren't going to tell the prosecution and the judge that they're on your side. So that's the type of juror that can hang a panel. That's the type of juror that could potentially cause them to acquit. Now, obviously, we know as prosecutors, I'm a former prosecutor, I'm going to take that perspective, we need to get 12 out of 12. So if we even get one of those types of jurors, those sympathetic jurors to Luigi Mangione on the panel, that's a huge problem because it doesn't matter. If you're just looking at the evidence in the case, Anjanette, it's really overwhelming, right? You have the video. We've talked about that. There's DNA on the water bottle near the scene. There's a fingerprint apparently on the burner phone. You have the ballistics that match as well. So you have fingerprint, DNA, ballistics, lots of forensic evidence. You have
a letter claiming, the manifesto claiming responsibility.
Yeah. So you got the motive there. It's him. So it's a very strong case in terms of the evidence. I don't know what Mangione is going to do, if it's going to push the case to trial, it's going to take a plea. Obviously, New York doesn't have the death penalty anymore, hasn't had it for 20 years. So I don't know what motivation he'll have to take any type of plea. Might just roll the dice. But it's really a strong case in terms of the evidence that we have. And obviously, we cover a lot of murders on Law and Crime. Some of them are cold cases. Some of them are tough cases. This is an easy case in terms of the evidence. But in terms of the sympathy and the potential for jury nullification, not an easy case at all.
He's a smart guy, okay? Valedictorian of his class, Ivy League school. He's got a bachelor's and a master's. He planned this whole thing out. I mean, he planned it out. He's smart, okay? He's smart. I think if he indeed is the guy, he's accused at this point. He's charged. I think he wanted to get caught. I mean, he wrote the manifesto. He knew he was eventually going to get caught. Do you think he mapped this out in his mind? Like, do you think he wanted to go to prison and was willing to go to prison? Or do you think he's got some kind of plan?
Yeah, he is obviously very smart. I haven't seen someone as smart as him, maybe since Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. And obviously, it appears that Mangione had read Kaczynski's manifesto. I think in some ways it's a little bit different, obviously, a different time. And we talked about the technology, right? Kaczynski was living off the grid, no electricity, no water. So he was able to kind of conduct these very smart letter bombings over the course of many years. But Mangione, obviously, he was smart. He certainly had a plan, right? He had the fake IDs, he got the burner phone, the escape path, and all that. He obviously knew where Thompson was going to be at that moment, right? He had enough sophistication to print a 3D gun. But ultimately, the question I have is, you're right. Why admit to it in writing when there's the possibility that you're going to get caught? You know, there's a manhunt out for you. And why don't you leave the country, right? You have, all this cash, you have some foreign currency as well. Why are you hanging out in broad daylight at a McDonald's in Pennsylvania when you're the most wanted man in the United States? So maybe he did indeed want to get caught. Obviously, we don't know much about him. We saw some yelling while he was being transported to his first court proceeding. So maybe there's some mental health issues. Maybe he's trying to send some sort of message here. But I think we'll know a lot more about him in the coming days and weeks.
His lawyer said, his lawyer told CNN that he was mad he didn't have a lawyer. And that's what that was about. But then he got into court and saw he had a lawyer, and that kind of calmed him down. So I thought that was really interesting as well. Nima Rahmani, we're going to watch it unfold together. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Anjanette. Talk soon.
And that's it for this episode of Crime.
So, yeah, man. This is what's going on, you guys. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. Right here in front of the world. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see it. So, I personally think he's going to end up getting sent to New York. I think he's going to end up getting found guilty. And I think that after that, he's going to, after he's found guilty, I think that what they're going to do is they're going to figure out whether or not he's going to get life without parole. That's going to be the big part. Does he get life with or without parole? You know? He's lucky that they took the death penalty off of the table for a terrorist thing. Because if they could do that, man, you got some people that's out there pushing for that. And they would try to push for that. And that would really turn the heat up on this entire situation. You know what I mean? So, again, you guys definitely let me know what y'all think. They are not showing him in court because they don't want, and this is my thought, they don't want this whole thing to blow up. Y'all let me know what y'all feel as far as him being able to have a stage.